So Norman Reedus, in an interview he had going on, said that more than likely, um, it was Death Stranding 2 probably gonna go down.
Yeah, I read reports. Apparently it's in negotiations. That's what I'm hearing. So I mean, I'm excited. I know Chris maybe a little more reserved than I am, but I'm definitely excited. More of Death Stranding is always a good thing for me. Chris did say earlier in the show he's got some critiques or some things he wants to that may bring him into the game, that may make him enjoy it a little bit more, and who knows, we'll see, or make it tolerable at least. At least, right? It's the least we can ask for. So I'm interested in that. I want to go into Chris. I want to see what is Chris missing? What is he looking for? What does he want to see from a new Death Stranding?
First, I'm gonna start off by saying I'm a massive hypocrite. Now I hate Death Stranding. Hate it. And I realized I hated it. Made me happy because when you're looking deep dive and like, what's the problem? What's the problem? You find the answer. Even if you don't like the answer, you know the truth. I hated Death Stranding.
Hey, that's cool.
Now you're saying, Chris, why is that being a hypocrite? Because I'm 100% gonna buy Death Stranding 2 without thinking twice about it. Like I'm gonna be like, here's money, you suck. I'm gonna do all.
I like how you tell the guy at the register, "Hey, you suck." Like the guy's like, what's going on?
Someone's got to get it. I'm not gonna say the.
He's just in the crossfire. Yeah,
he's gonna be like, dude, I'm just working. I'm sorry. You don't deserve that.
That dude's like, probably like, I'm tired of working at Walmart. I hate these people.
Yeah. So I was pondering. I guess I got a legal pass, so it's the business. All right.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking Death Stranding. Now I hated game
that you did,
like I said before, but the thing is, like I was telling Liquid, I remember I had to remember the race, so I looked at some videos, looked at some gameplay, remembered why I hated this game, and I'm like, I hate this game so much.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. You had to relive the trauma that you suffered.
I did. I was like, not again. I just like right now, like I wish we had edited more so you could just things of me dropping packages, like they say you're okay and you're not okay, and then I'm getting dragged through the mud, and it's just having flashbacks, like, and then I'm having boss fights that are super easy and uneventful. Like
that's really good, actually. That little anyway, editing you just like, played. Yeah, I love it.
Anyway, and I try to think of certain key things. All right.
Okay.
So, and I wanted to get a little gameplay. All right. I want to start off a little nerdy.
Yeah.
I want to say the climbing mechanic with mountains.
Okay.
It sucked so bad. You weren't climbing mountains more as you were like, will I fall here? Will I fall here? No, I won't fall here. All right, now I can go up. Now I can go. I hope this imaginary ridge doesn't just knock me over. And it's just like I wish, because in Breath of the Wild, it seemed like the climbing was really rad. Like you can watch someone climb a mountain, and it's not boring. It's like a fun thing to do. And a game where there's primarily walking, I wish it could somehow do something like even add some climbing. Maybe do a thing. How hikers, they'll put their hands on their knees when they're walking, or like put their hands on the ground a little bit. And I would like to see more stuff like that.
Okay.
He put his hands on his knees. I don't remember.
Hands on your knees and your hands on your thighs. No. I'm pretty sure he didn't. Not that I recall. I don't remember him ever doing such a thing. I know there was like ladders to help you, but even that was like to a certain extent. It only went so far. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's so funny because I think the biggest thing that would help you climb is the ropes. The problem with the ropes though is you had to get to the top to get the rope to come down. So I think that's a fair point. I think it's a great point.
I'm trying to be fair about this, guys. I'm trying to say what would be a better Death Stranding, but besides my main biggest problem.
And I love that you used Breath of the Wild as an example of how climbing should be done. Breath of the Wild, you can climb on anything. So I love that you went that route. Kudos.
Yeah, I was just, because I'm like, I've only ever watched the game, and I'm like, I just watched this man climb the side of a mountain for like 10 minutes, entertained as hell.
Yeah, it's all a status bar. I mean, not the status bar, like an energy bar or a stamina bar. That's what I meant. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Okay, and I wanted the next thing on my list was better character growth.
Okay.
Norman Reedus is the exact same character. He is at the beginning of the game. He is at the end of the game. Nothing happens. He's the same person throughout. He doesn't learn a lesson, especially when you harken back to like Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm.
You think even like Solid Snake is this character, but he's dealing with these like these formative ideas of thought and these big like top level things that's going on. And it's basically him, like the immovable object, meaning the hard place. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
all that stuff. The unstoppable force means the immovable object. That's what I meant to say.
I hear you.
So like, and I'm like, I wish there was like a more emotional thing, especially when the game is about connections and uniting each other and doing stuff like that. I'm like, the thing is to write a story like that with connections and hope in people, it has to come at a single point, and I think that was supposed to be Norman Reedus, and I don't that happen at all.
I could see that. Yeah, yeah, no. Again, I think it's a great point. Norman Reedus' character, like you said, it is about connections. I think you see a lot of like when you read the letters in the game and you just even listen to some of the cutscenes, you can see the connections with the NPCs amongst each other, and then you would think that yeah, Norman Reedus would be that bridge that sort of connects it to, but it kind of
Right,
yeah, you see, I was trying to go for,
right,
but
right,
yeah,
right.
you would think that he would be that bridge to connect the two, but it does fall a little flat, sure.
Yeah. And so and I'm gonna say number three is the dialogue. It was
Mm,
bad writing. There's a lot of bad writing. It's like they say I'm fragile. I'm not whatever, like that whole thing. And then he's like, "You're nothing but damaged goods." I'm like, "We get it. It's about packages." Like Jesus Christ, man. You don't have to pun it up like there's one or two times you could tongue and cheek it, but
yeah,
it just kept happening. And I'm like, what is going on? And the dialogue just didn't make sense. And the thing I get writing for delivering packages is really hard. But you decided to make that world. It's not up to me
sure.
to make it for you.
Now,
You gotta be the guy.
I want to give you a little pushback on this one in particular.
Please.
Only because like I agree, sure that it was a little the like you said, the whole tongue in cheek thing, maybe a little overwhelming. Like Metal Gear, I feel like did it as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Maybe not to the extent as Death Stranding did, but it still was there. So, and like you said, so I guess it's not really pushback. It's just more of like, so Metal Gear had it. We both can agree on that part
Yeah,
here.
I'll go.
It's
Well,
just not as much. Death Stranding really kind of like, really just
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's the problem. They were driving it home, and
I
it's
hear
just
you.
like we get it. Like I don't know if it's a translation thing. You know what I
It's
mean? It could
possible.
be because sometimes when you hear some of the line, it's funny because the line delivery by the voice actors, amazing.
Sure.
And the sentence is just dumb as shit.
No, this is technically Kojima's first game on his own with Kojima Productions, sort of doing their own thing there. And yeah, you could be right. It could be just a whole translation thing, maybe lost in translation. You're absolutely right. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think I think that's something that could be tightened up fairly easily in a sequel.
I think
Sure.
so too.
I think out of
And
everything
you
you
just get
mentioned, I think that's probably the number one that probably could be tightened up.
yeah. My number one
Oh, okay.
is the combat situation. You
Hmm.
either tighten it up or take it out completely.
I am of the club of taking it out myself. I don't think there should be any combat in it as well. It seems it's kind of like shoehorned in there just to sort of add some type of gameplay element. But no, I can agree with removing it. I'd rather it not be there, to be honest.
Yeah, because the game is fun. Hiding from these monsters, these ghost things, you don't know what they are.
Right,
There's a mysterious component about it, and you're like, oh man, I can't fight these guys. If I get caught, I'm done skis, bro.
right,
And
right.
it's just like that fear, like that ever looming when the little hand things, like,
Oh
and you're
yeah.
like, oh no, I'm like, oh boy, you really stepped into this time, gee willikers. And you're like, how are we gonna get out of this one? And like that was fun because I gotta say there was a little bit at that pull at the beginning. The thing is that runs out real fast.
I can see that.
Especially,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
oh no, especially as the game progresses because it's not a short game.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, I think that I'm of the fan of the club of just removing it completely myself. However, I feel like because the thing is, there was a time, like when I'm playing the game, I'm just gonna give you an example here. I was really trying to build these roads up to make them, to make life a little easier, whatever. Just build these roads, and one of the things I needed was metal. I needed a lot of metal was the material that I needed. Luckily, there's a base camp held by the enemies that has that metal that I needed. So I would go there to essentially steal it from them. That's what I was doing. So I guess, do you have any idea, or do you have a thought, or anything at all? What do you think they can replace that? Because like I loved going in there and stealing it, but that of course involved the combat that I kind of don't want. That I'm like, okay, I'm okay with it leaving. Could you think of anything? Because I can't.
Yeah. See, the thing is, my main problem with the combat stuff, the non-lethal fighting, like where he had the thing, like the bolo gun thing, where he like it wraps up people
Yeah,
and
yeah,
takes
yeah.
people down and stuff like that. You see, that's all right. Maybe you set some traps. Maybe you do some things like
Oh, okay.
keep sneaking around the area, surveying it. Don't get me wrong, like it's gonna take a lot of work, but this is kind of like on brand for this game. Like
Okay.
it's a pun intended. It's a trudge.
I like
You're going through it.
I like what you said there, because technically, like whenever I would go into those camps, yeah, doing it non-lethally, that's exactly how I would play it. Like I
Oh,
didn't
I
do
would
it.
not at all. I didn't have to.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to. So that's what I'm trying to get at next, is that maybe they should make it to the point that you have to, and you're only given the weapons to make it non-lethal. You know what I'm saying? Like when I had that bolo gun, like I thought it was great. I'm like, this is great. I'm just like, I'm just like tying everybody up. It was, and
Yeah.
when they call back up, I'm just like, just shooting everybody. So yeah, I get where you're coming from, and I think that's the solution. I think keep it in there, maybe refining it a little bit better, tightening it up a little bit, but making it specifically non-lethal. Because yes, I mean Sam Porter Bridges, which is Norman Reedus' character, he's delivering packages. He's not GI Joe out here. You know what I'm saying?
That's another issue I have.
Hmm.
Narratively, we've heard Kojima before the game, like, hey, this is not Solid Snake. This is a regular guy. I'm like, then why can this regular guy go into a camp of like 20 people and get these packages and get
Sometimes you
out?
just find it in you, bro.
No, it doesn't make sense in the world that it's built.
I hear
That's
you.
another thing. Like, it doesn't. Like, now I'm just adding on to it. And after
No,
this,
no,
I'll stop.
no.
And
This
I
is
want to know
good.
what you think.
Sure.
Um, just it doesn't adhere to the rules of the world that it builds.
Fair enough.
That was another problem with me. Like, it really ticks me off because you say he's a normal guy. He just has this one ability, and they even try to downplay, like, hey, everyone says it's this, but I really just kind of feel the creatures. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm it's just really this, and then suddenly his blood is thing, his urine's this. He's like the Messiah. And you're
Right.
like, and then he's just murking monsters and things, and then everyone's just like, wow, you did it. That's real cool.
He's the
And then you
one.
don't see. And another thing too, like when you don't meet that many people,
Hmm.
like during the like holograms, it just seems lazy.
Absolutely. That one I can agree with, of course. Now I the whole hologram thing, I think it does go with the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess so. Here's are we like, are you done or no?
I'm not. I can keep on going, but I need to stop.
All right. So like, the hologram thing I don't mind. Sure, it may come off as a little lazy, but I think it's on par with the story. I think like we're sort of in this kind of post-apocalyptic world, and where like delivering packages is one of the most important jobs of all time. You know what I'm saying? And like I could look at that and I can laugh at it, but I feel like we kind of lived that a little bit during quarantine. You know what I'm saying? Where Amazon became almost a necessity, for delivering packages. So I'm like, oh, okay. So like that, I found that kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? The combat, yes, I'd agree with you 100% that I'm of the camp of where it should be taken out completely. Or if you're gonna keep it in, at least refine it, make it all non-lethal. That's how I preferred to play. That's how I had the most fun playing. Because just like you said, I agree. This is just a normal guy who's supposed to be delivering packages. He shouldn't be able to bust a cap in everybody's head, like that. So I completely agree with that part. Um, a lot, just to touch up on some things that I really enjoyed. For example, and this seems it might be tedious to some people, and it's completely understandable. Some people might find it boring. Understand? A lot of people find baseball boring. I love baseball. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
so take it what you will, but like when I would have to go to a delivery, and let's say I'm trying to go for these S rank deliveries, oh, you got to meet this time or whatever or whatnot. Like you know what I'm saying? I like doing that. And I like even little things that I would find, like Higgs. Higgs was the guy with the gold mask. He was technically a
Or
protagonist,
Baker.
yeah, Troy Baker, antagonist. And you find his house as well, and you could find it, and it's not on the map, but you could find it, and then he'll send you to do deliveries, and it's so funny because it's so Kojima, because the last delivery I think he has you do, or if anything, I think the only delivery he has you do is to deliver pizzas. It's so weird. It's great. I love that.
See that? Like, it's fun if that was the only super tongue-in-cheek thing he did.
Okay, sure.
His game.
Okay, I could see that, absolutely. But like that, and I had to do the S rank, and then once you do get the S ranks done, technically Higgs's little house, it opens up. You can actually go down inside of it, and which I think is awesome, because like you normally don't see what these bunkers look like on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I guess this is more of spoilers, and I apologize if I've spoiled it for anyone. It's not
Spoiler alert, just
yeah,
in case.
it's not story spoiler, but it's there. You could find it. But again, I'm just naming things that I enjoyed when I played it. Some people were like, "Oh yeah, walking simulator," and I'm like, I did enjoy it. I loved, like, okay, I got this delivery, this delivery, this delivery. You know what I'm saying? What's the quickest way I can get from point A to point B and knock out every delivery at once? I loved grabbing multiple deliveries and knocking them all out at once, getting the most efficient way to get over there. Pretty much playing a FedEx man. That's what I'm doing here. This is like finding the most effective way to get from point A to point B, deliver these packages with as little damage as possible, as quick as possible. So that's why I felt it's so necessary to build these roads. And then then you get these likes from these people that you don't know, because you're all just in the same server, and I'm all for it. It's so funny. I just logged in last week to this game, and I'm sitting at I think it was like 500,000 likes, something like that. Like it was up there. You know what I'm saying? And then I see my status is called the Great Deliverer. Is my Sam said. So it's just little stuff like that. Like, it's stupid. It's silly. It doesn't matter, but I love it. I love that it's there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, so like there's that. I'm like, yeah, I am the Great Deliverer. I'm handing out these packages left and right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I love the different things that they did. You have your little carrier guy with you can make a little train, I guess, of these little, where you stack your packages. And I love that you gotta stack it so that way the weight is like balanced. You know what I'm saying? It's so,
I always just auto did it.
yeah, honestly, I started doing it towards the end. I'm like, yeah, I might as well. And like it gets to the point that, yeah, it does become tedious. You know what I'm saying? So I started auto doing it as well. There's sometimes though that if I'm not mistaken, when you auto do it, it's not the best option. It's probably the most common or a good option, but you can find an option better, even from what I've seen. But it's just little stuff like that. Like I said, this would matter little to nothing to anybody. But I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I love getting my character ready. I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna do these 5 deliveries at one time, or 4, 3, however many I'm doing at one time. I'm like, I already established the roads, so I already know what roads I'm gonna be taking. Now, what equipment am I gonna be taking? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I usually bring the little caddy with me in case I gotta carry it on foot. I usually bring a truck with me. And it's just stuff like that. Like I said, it's tedious. It almost feels like it's stupid. It's 100% it's stupid. I can admit that it's stupid. That's the thing. I'm like, any other, like, I could admit completely this is just stupid. This is so dumb. But I've fallen in this hole with it, where I'm just like, it's stupid, but man, I love doing it. Like, oh man, I get a kick off doing it. Like, you could, and like, even the backpack, like organizing the backpack, that sort of thing. Like, and I know this is, again, it varies from person to person. It's just more of a personal thing. Like I love organizing. Like, that's so weird. You know what I'm saying? And I love, and now not everything. Like, I see people on TikTok organizing their refrigerators. I could give two craps about what that is. I don't care about that. Yeah. But like a nice gaming setup, a nice, you know what I'm saying? Like my shelves, like these shelves didn't happen by accident. I put this together, and I had to figure out what's the best way I want it to look. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with my desk. Everything in my life, mostly. I am that way, and Ani, my significant other, she gives me crap for it, but it's just how I am. So when
Yeah.
you give me a game that gives me an option to organize and do these deliveries, make it efficient, I'm like, oh, I'm all for it. Like when it comes to like planning a vacation, I'm that guy. I'm like, yeah, I will put let's put down what we're gonna be doing for that week or for that weekend. I love that crap, dude. So it's just like,
Uh,
and I get it. That's not everybody. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
That's probably not most people, and that's probably
nah.
why a lot of people don't care about this game, and that's 100% understandable. That's 100%, okay. But for me, I love it. You know what I'm saying? My best, like Metal Gear Solid 5, I think is a great game, lacking a little bit in the story, but still great. The whole like figuring out what you're gonna take on the mission to make the mission better, faster, like just that's what really, like I liked it, but I really just sunk my teeth into it when it got to that point where just like I get to replay these missions, do them even better than I did before with now newer equipment to make it faster, make it like better, easier for me. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm here for. That's what I really like about the game, and I get it, not for everybody, but that's just what I like about it.